Hello and welcome to the induction for vaccinators at Cathedral House. Training requirements. We advise all vaccinators to have completed the mandatory vaccination training. This is available on the ELFH portal and consists of 3 modules within the COVID vaccination e-learning. One is a module which is general information about the vaccination program, one is about the Pfizer vaccine, and one is about the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. We also recommend that all vaccinators should watch the aseptic non-touch technique video, which will be sent out within the training pack. And there is also a 6-minute video in relation to Pinnacle and the pharma outcome software that we'll be using to record a patient's vaccination and for any aftercare. It is absolutely imperative that all of this is done before you attend for your shift. Please make sure that you're also up to date with your BLS and your anaphylaxis. If you can complete your self-assessment form, if you haven't done so already, and bring that to Cathedral House for it to be signed off by the lead GP or lead nurse. What to sort out prior to attending Cathedral House. You have to have completed all the training from the previous slide, and all the links to that training is within your induction pack which has been sent to you. If you haven't received the pack yet, please contact somebody from the Cathedral House project team who'll be able to help you. Please ensure you have a log-on for AccuRx so you can access the AccuBook system. This is what we're using at Cathedral House for the booking of patients. Also ensure that you have a log-on ready for Pinnacle, which is the pharma outcome system, which is what you'll be using for the recording of the vaccination. And once again, just to reiterate that training, in particular the videos on aseptic non-touch technique and the Pinnacle system, needs to be viewed before you attend your shift at Cathedral House. What to expect at Cathedral House. Cathedral House is a very large site with a very large car park. There's going to be a separate entrance for patients coming in and a separate one for them going out. This is to allow traffic flow in one direction, and the layout of the building is in such a way that the patient flow is also in one direction. Patients will come in from one way and they'll go out from another. There will also be a provision for patients who are car bound, and this is going to be managed by the traffic management company on site, which is called Streetwise. They will liaise with the lead manager for these car bound patients. These patients will have a separate entrance within the hall near to one of the vaccinator stations. They'll come in through there on a wheelchair. They'll be seen by the vaccinator there. They'll be kept for observation in an area nearby for 15 minutes, and then they'll go back out to the car from there. The flow of patients. Patients will come in via the main entrance, which is clearly signposted, and they will enter the main foyer where there will be a hand sanitization unit before they join the queue and come into the main hall. They'll come up to the reception desk and they'll be arrived by reception before they join the main vaccination queue. The vaccinator stations will be set up in a line, and patients will be directed to the next free station. The next patient will be waiting on chairs outside of each station. We need to ensure that the queue is kept indoors, and for that to be achieved, we need to get a target rate of 12 patients per hour to ensure this patient flow. This equates to 5 minutes per appointment. After the patients have had the vaccination, they'll go over to the observation area, which is on the other side of the hall. They'll be kept there for 15 minutes before they're allowed to leave. There will be volunteers scattered around the hall who will be helping to manage this patient flow. Arrival at Cathedral House. When you arrive as a vaccinator to Cathedral House, please report to the central desk where you will be allocated a station number and you will need to check in. Familiarize yourself with the layout of the hall, including the central resuscitation and the main clinical room. Meet the rest of the team, which includes a lead GP, a lead nurse, a lead manager, and the various admin and volunteer staff. If there are any fire drills planned for the day, the lead manager will inform the team. In the event of a fire, please exit from the nearest fire exit. Those patients who are waiting in the observation area, in the event of a fire, they will be taken out through a separate fire exit, and they have a separate cordoned off area within the car park. Toilets are located in the foyer near the exit, and on arrival you'll also be offered a lateral flow test, which is entirely voluntary. If you haven't done so already at practice, you'll be asked to sign the national protocol and the PGD. You will then settle in at your vaccination station. You'd log into AccuBook, Pinnacle and your NHS smart card in case you need to use the My Health Huddersfield System 1 module. The station itself will have all the PPE and other materials equipment that are needed for vaccination. If you've settled in and logged on, you can reconvene in the clinical room to help with the initial reconstitution of vials with the lead nurse. Vaccinating. Reconstituted vials will be delivered to the stations by the lead nurses. The vaccinating will begin with a minimum target required of 12 patients per hour to ensure good patient flow. At the time of vaccination, you would write this down onto a label and you'd give this to the patient after you're done, before they leave for the observation area. This is to help the volunteers in the observation area to keep an eye on when their 15 minutes are due. Consent should be streamlined if they're attending for the second dose, as when they've attended for their first dose, they would have had the consenting procedure already done. If there are any clinical issues, please flag this to the lead GP. If there are any technical, for example IT issues, please flag this up with the lead manager. The lead GP and the nurse/nurses will regularly check each station to ensure the doses are adequate, ensure the smooth running of the session, and offer any support if needed. Towards the end of the session, your station may be asked to close down to ensure minimal wastage of vaccine. In this case, you may be asked to help at another station, which may involve drawing up of doses and administering, or completing the computer administration. Emergency. In the event of an emergency, assistance may be needed by one or more of the vaccinator stations. This will be coordinated by the lead GP. There is a central resource area which has an anaphylaxis kit, a defib, and oxygen present. And finally, once you've finished, please tidy up the station and log off. Take part in a very short debrief with the leads, where you'll have an opportunity to feedback. Thank you very much.